Hi, Stuart.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit, perhaps, about something I noticed during meditation, that a lot of my tension is around me keeping up an, how should I put it, an appearance or an image that I'm sort of invested in protecting to the world. I don't
Well,
know if it makes any sense.
it makes a lot of sense, Leo. It's not only you, it's the whole world has that image of themselves. And people spend too much energy and time trying to protect something that's transitory. Whatever image we have of ourselves, one day is not going to be there anymore. And people invest energy instead of using the energy to build a system that'll connect to infinite energy, to God, creative energy in the universe. We use that energy to protect some false image of exactly who we think we are. And we're not, because the truth about every human being is changing by the day. Every human being, there's nobody sitting here that was the exact way they were 3 days ago. So when you try to, you know, feed that image of yourself, you're feeding an illusion. The real you is hiding behind that. And the real you is based upon how deeply you can let go of this false image and allow spiritual energy to guide your life, higher force of energy in the universe to guide your life. And yet, look, as strange as it may sound, we need illusion. We need it for a number of reasons. One, it's sometimes fun and games, and we enjoy ourselves dealing with illusion in life. Secondly, we need it as a reminder of what's real and what's transitory, what will disappear in a day, a week. Ite, please try to sit still, okay? Because if people are drinking and moving, it really disrupts the whole energy. It'll be another 5 minutes and you can take a sip. Okay, thank you. Uh, you understand what I'm talking about? Illusion is essential. We're given illusion by the creative force in the universe. We're given illusion as a reminder that we have to go deeper in ourselves, open more, and connect with a force of energy that transcends Maya, illusion, that really is connected to what is infinite in the God. Call it God, infinite energy, whatever you want to, but to be connected to that kind of energy. And that is the energy that is creating all of life around us, inside us, everywhere, is a manifestation of that energy. So if we attach ourselves to the Maya, to the illusion, that's what eats our life away. It takes we feed it, and it really takes our creative energy away from us. It might provide money, it might provide success on certain levels, but even all of that is just transitory. What's real is a connection with spirit. And frankly, I'll tell you, the truth, what I found out in my own life is when you connect with that higher energy, it provides you with everything you need to learn to work out your karma. If you need to be a billionaire, you'll become a billionaire. If you need to have 10 children, or 5 children, or one child, and a family, you will have that because you need that to learn about yourself and how to truly work deep enough in yourself so you can take care of the external world and at the same time stay connected to spirit. So we need everything, everything. I mean, my teacher Rudy once told me life is a smorgasbord. He wants to eat from every dish on the table, doesn't want there to be anything he has to return here for. And we need false images of ourselves because they eventually break down and remind us, hey, you got to go deeper. This is not real. We get diseases, we get all kinds of, heart conditions, cancer, all kinds of problems come to people that are nothing more than reminders of the transient nature of life. And in that transiency of life, we are born here to learn how to transform the suffering, the unhappiness, the depression into a spiritual life, into joy, into love, into a connection with higher energy in the universe. So don't ever put anything down. It's all a teacher provided by higher energy, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. And we need to have these teachers to remind us of the work we need to do to continue growing inside ourselves and the effort it takes to connect with a spiritual force in the universe. It doesn't just happen. A human being has to do the work on themselves in order to allow it to happen. So have fun with that image of yourself. Okay? Don't put it down and don't think it's anything other than a teacher for you to teach you how to go deeper inside and how not to allow transient energy to suck your life away. I hope that's clear, Leo. I don't know how to make it clearer, but it's
No, that's fine. That's very insightful. Thank you.
God is love, not just love of this or that, unconditional love. And it begins with liking and loving oneself. We are worthy of having wonderful lives. But in order to have a life full of that wonderment, we can't just accept, transiency and false images of self as reality. We've got to learn how to transform those things, excuse me, into a connection with spirit, higher energy. And this changes people. People see the world differently. If there's love in somebody's heart, if there's compassion in somebody's heart, they see a different world. They listen to other people. They learn from other people. They don't judge anybody, because who the hell knows better than anybody else? I don't. And I've been doing this a really long time. And one of the wonderful things I learned in my life is I don't know better than anybody else. What am I there to learn from them? How can they teach me something about me that I need to work with in order to grow? Then the world becomes a different place. We see a totally different reality. And we bow to our teachers. We bow to life. Life, as I always say, is the greatest university. And it's
Thank
just,
you. Thank you, Stuart. It made me realize that I think I'm spending a lot of my energy in uh, how I am perceived and how I am seen and how I present myself versus being in the moment and listening.
well, Leo, look,
Sort
let's
of.
try being in the moment. Okay, much better way to live. Okay,
Yeah,
be in
agreed.
the moment. But let me tell you, being in the moment is not easy. You have to have a system inside that's strong enough to do it. That comes in time. That comes when we develop a really powerful chakra system that is connected to spirit, and we're being nurtured by that higher force in the universe. Because in order to be nurtured by it, we have to be in the moment. We can't be thinking about the past, the future. We have to be in the moment. And being in the moment frees us of a lot of illusion. Holding on to the moment creates a lot of illusion. But moment to moment reality, we build on each moment. Each moment allows us to go to the next moment. And what determines the future, honestly, is how we live today. That will determine the future for everybody sitting there, how they live today. Not projecting plans about what you're going to do in 30 years and blah, blah, blah. It never works out. How and we live today in this moment, how conscious we are living in this moment will determine what our future will be. Does anyone else have a question they would like to?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
A little bit earlier, you were talking about having fun. About that, about how to have fun with that.
Yeah, I once wrote a line in a book, one of my books, life is a circus. It is. It's a three-ring circus. But nobody goes to the circus to have a lousy time. If we open up inside and build a chakra system that's connected to spirit, you understand? A big part of it, that chakra system is an open heart. It's love, it's joy, it's kindness. And we can look out at life, and life becomes a three-ring show, and we're there to enjoy it. Instead of spending all our time complaining about it and moaning about it and trying to change we can enjoy the circus. But we got to have that strength inside, that openness inside that enables us to do what I'm talking about. That's what the meditation is for, to build that kind of inner life. And then it all becomes fun. It becomes something we can enjoy. It's not intimidating anymore. It doesn't threaten us. We don't have to kill somebody else. We don't have to fight. You say, well, what the hell is it teaching me? Oh my God, look what kind of schmuck I am, I can change inside. I can change inside. And then as you change, your heart opens. And when your heart is really open, there's love, there's joy, there's fun, you can laugh at even the most tragic things become something. And when I was younger, I used to study acting, in New York. And, the greatest tragedies created the greatest comedy. Shakespeare always had these riotous moments in Hamlet and Lear and all these great tragedies going on in front of you. And then these moments of just absolute humor. That humor has to break up the difficulty of life. And the first person we have to learn to laugh at is ourselves. Stop taking ourselves too seriously. Just being able to laugh at ourselves. We're all living in a divine comedy. And we take it so seriously that it becomes a divine tragedy. You know, when I used to have a gallery in New York, I used to have a lot of Asian art. And there was one thing in Japan that they used to do paintings of these two guys. I talk about this because I used to love it. And I used to have paintings of these guys from the Edo period, back in Muromachi period. Somebody's really late. Anyway, these two guys, they always painted them like two drunken fools. Their eyes were, totally spacey, and they're, sweeping the porch in the monastery, and, but they're always drunken guys. And when the abbot of the monastery died, all the wise men of the monastery had to find the people the most deeply rooted in Zen to take over the monastery. And the only people they found that were totally immersed in Zen were these two drunken fools. And they became a metaphor, you understand, for the frolicsome, the wonderment, the wonder, the fun of life, the miracle of being given life. And I think we all have to recognize that we are given the miracle of life. It's sacred. And we need to enjoy it. Why crap all over it? We need to enjoy it, love it. I know when people come to me with all their problems, and trust me, it goes on all day. One of the ways I break it all up is by just kind of cracking a few jokes and a little bit of humor, and the person starts laughing and the whole thing falls away. I mean, it's really true. It's my best weapon in dealing with other people's stuff. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. Another thing I'm having fun with is I'm doing podcasts now, a lot of them, and I have two of them this week. I think one is in Africa. The other one, I don't know where the person lives. But it's really opened a part of me, something that I was a little bit shy about, and it became a very great teacher for me, being able to communicate with people. Not so much people that do the meditation, but people that don't do the meditation, and to be able to communicate with them in a human way. What a great teacher that's been. Does anyone else have a question? On my cough. Okay, there'll be a class on Thursday at 1:00. There's also a class tomorrow evening. For those of you that live, kind of in the Western Hemisphere, God bless you all, and thank you for being here. And I say it every time we have a class, you all are my teacher. Your presence here makes me go so deep in myself that it even shocks me what comes out. And I have to spend a lot of time listening to it. So thank you and bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.